Okay, we got some more pre-owned radios on the website. I think there's 5 right now of the QT40s on there. I'm not always going to do a video on every one because unfortunately I just don't have time. But if you watch one of my videos on like a Aries 2 Anytone or a QT40, everything I do is done to all those. They also all have the MERS band programmed into the WX setting on those, as well as all the standard weather channels. So you have your MERS band. If you don't want those, you could put like amateur radio 2-meter in there. Whatever you want to do, you can do it with the PC programming software. Some of them come with cables, some of them don't. Some of them look like brand new, some of them look used. The listings on the website for each one kind of say what they are and what they come with, and also there's some pictures for each one so you can see what you're going to get and that kind of thing. So this is a QT60. Now again, this one is pre-owned, but it's in really nice shape. I just did the alignment on it. It has a bracket, a power cord, some accessories. It looks like the mounting nuts for the bracket, the bumper pads is what I call them, that you stick on the bracket, not on the side of the radio. I guess if you want to do it on the side of the radio, you can, but it's meant to go on the bracket. You got a few screws. I don't know if they're all there or not. I'm not going to open this and dump it all out, but you do have an extra fuse in there, I think. You see that? So there's some stuff there. Here's the book for it. It comes with a factory box. And the radio, it does have a mic, which is here. So this is the factory mic that comes with it. I will include an adapter as well. RJ45 to 4-pin Cobra. So I'm going to stick that in the box so I don't forget about it. And then let's look at the radio. So this is the radio right here. And I already got it ready to go. So let's just plug this mic in. We'll just take a quick peek. Okay, so we got the mic plugged in, got the radio. This has all the frequencies that the radio is capable of doing. I have the memory channels programmed in. That's some of the more popular channels and frequencies that you may use throughout the bands. This is sideband with the power all the way up. The mic gain is all the way up, and this is what we're using for the microphone. So when we speak now, we're going to see the peak envelope power there. So we're not slamming like 60 plus or anything. This obviously has a clean alignment, which is good. You don't want to really run these in that overshoot fashion, because they do overshoot quite a bit. Especially if you go in there and you crank that setting all the way up, which is really bad. Let's put this back down on the other band, just so we can take a look at it and see, because the spectrum analyzer I think is on that band. Yeah, so this is 27205 with the 20 kilohertz bandwidth right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check, check. Hello, radio. So that's what it looks like on the spectrum analyzer, and this is what it looks like here. So I think we're good. I think we're also good here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're right at about 50 ohm, which is perfect. Best case scenario here. Auto squelch is on. FM, I believe that's about what, 50? It's pretty close. And he's like, I set it for 50. Usually it falls back a little bit, and then all the way down is about 1. I did set it for 4.1 kilohertz like I always do. It's the same on the Aries, except that one's set to 40 and then 1 all the way down. AM, about 8 all the way up, and then about 1 all the way down. The difference is on these radios, I think why people like them so much is, see all that big forward swing that the meter picks up. That's not consistent power, but the meter takes many measurements per second. You have the milliseconds in there, and this thing's taking multiple measurements in the milliseconds. So that's what we're looking at there. If we want to understand actually what's going on, a good way to do that is with the trigger option on the oscilloscope. So when we trigger it, Actually, let me make this a little bit larger. All right, so let me say what we're going to do first. So when I'm speaking, I have this set to a very fast ratio, so everything's gonna move quick. And I'm gonna take this as our trigger. I'm gonna take this and put this way up here. And what we'll see, and I don't know if there's a way, I think I can just do it like this. That way we can kind of visually see the power meter and the oscilloscope. What we're going to see here is when you notice those big jumps, like I was seeing like 30 at times. Watch what the oscilloscope shows too. So there's our carrier, 1, 2, 3. Actually, see how we're like going way up there. That's why, let me actually make this just a little bit smaller. Whoop. We're not going to be centered right now, but I just want to try to explain. My trigger is at the top of the screen. Like, oh, now it's going to be reset when so I set my trigger point way up here. So it won't start registering a waveform until the amplitude reaches that trigger point. And let's get that meter back in there so you can see those big 30 some watt power spikes. Well, that's what you're seeing on the oscilloscope, and that's why this radio, I think people in the AM crowd like it a whole lot more, because it's very, the AMC on this radio is very unaggressive, and it's not clamping down, and it's allowing, you know, those big amplitudes of AM modulation to come through. And all you can do on this radio is set it with a 1 kilohertz test tone, and it looks perfect there. And you don't get those, but this is what happens in the real world with the oscilloscope. You know, see how it's shooting way up there, you know, and then it stops on it and stuff. So over here, you know, it's very clean. You know, we're not seeing any splatter into adjacents or anything, but you know, we're getting that very high level of modulation. That was just like a 48 right there, which is crazy, but you know, it's kind of like one of those things, you know. I can pretty much live without it like this. I don't actually enjoy it like that. I would prefer if it wasn't like that personally, but I think there's some in the CB community that think that that's desirable, but I'm not one of them. So, but I just wanted to show that because I don't know if anyone's ever really shown that kind of stuff before. But that's why these radios show that very high swing from a low dead key, but no, it is not consistent. And if you don't have a peak reading meter that has the ability to take multiple measurements per second, then you're never going to see that. And even a bird isn't that fast. It's going to have a much slower response time. So that's just all that is. It's not anything that I really care about, but I felt like showing it. So again, on the 8 watt carrier level, that's where we're going to see the higher peak envelope power, the more consistent peak envelope power, you know, on this radio. So it's upwards of like 59, 60 there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's why it does that. Let's put the test tone in. I'll just show that really quick. And if I can, I'll put this on the air because I haven't been on the radio yet today, so I have no clue what's going on. Alright, so this is sideband because my function gen was set up in sideband still, so I might as well show that. And there it is there. If I trigger up, it'll stop oscillating there, or jittering or whatever. So you know, I really like the external trigger function on this scope. That's what I'm using now. It's really nice. It gives me more control over what I'm seeing. So it's really cool. So there's that. If I lower the power, obviously it's going to come way down, but I need to trigger down because that's going to get really small now. So it's actually outstanding at a lower power level. This thing is like super clean at the lower power level. So if you have one of these radios that I've aligned and set up, and you don't need to run it at full power, then turn it back, because the signal is going to be that much clearer and cleaner at a lower power level. And that's just, I guess, a little tip. But you know, if you like a super clean signal, you start backing this RF power down once you get past about 12 o'clock. I mean, this thing gets super clean. All right, here's our AM. So again, they get a lot cleaner, but the QT40 is just an all-around has a much cleaner transmitter on it, so that's another reason why I really like that radio a lot for my you know, purposes that I would use it for. I like that radio a lot, actually more in a lot of ways, because of the way it performs on my equipment and stuff and how it works. So for me, I kind of prefer that one, although I still really like these ones too. So this is the low power. It has a ton of modulation. So, you know, there's our normal, and that's why it does what it does too, because that's a lot. Okay, so let's turn this back up all the way. I need to adjust this down. I can bring this up a little bit. Alright, so here's our high power. Yeah, it looks really good. Here's how it looks on the spectrum analyzer. This is high power. And then, without changing anything, just rolling the carrier down, that's low power, so it's super clean too. But again, the AMC locks in on a 1 kilohertz tone. When you don't have a tone, you're using your voice on these, they are a little less aggressive. So if you like that, which again, I don't really care about that or need that on my daily radio usage, that's something that you can consider with the different radios between the QT40, QT60 is, you know, what do you want out of it? You know, I can't always tell people what, I guess I can recommend what I think people should want, but at the end of the day, it's what do you want? It's your equipment, you know. I understand that too, but there's just certain things I just don't agree with, and I don't really promote certain things with radio. But here's the AM transmitted frequency on this one, so it's really good. I'm going to put this in sideband. It's upper side. I'm going to transmit the tone. There it is there too, so it's right on frequency, just like you'd expect. So let's put this on the air really quick and see how it works, what we can pick up. Well, there's obviously some skip coming in. I don't know if that was Portuguese or if that was Spanish. I know they have some similarities, but there are also a lot of differences. Or if it's coming from Europe, or if it's coming from South America. But anyways, we'll move on to the other band. See if we can't make a contact really quick before I close the video here. I'm going to switch this setting to frequency priority. And I'm going to switch this to 1 kilohertz. This is how I use it for HF. If it was the new short version, it would have the VFO, but this one doesn't, so. And the new short version doesn't mute in between cycle, like how this one does.
Italy kilowatt 0 Papa Hotel Yankee. Very close 5 and 9. You're 5 and 9. Name your smart so you get okay. I'll give you up Italy. Over. Isu. Okay, got you now. November 1 Delta X-ray Shida. Okay, hello. Good afternoon, Brad, and pleased to meet you. You're 5 by 5?
Take out.
Wat er net uitgesloopt. Tenminste, hier in de buurt staat weet je, het is uitgesloopt. En
was running something pretty big on the Jason. I couldn't find him though.
Alles voor allemaal minder en zo, allemaal kwaliteit en noem maar op. Kijk maar wat ik allemaal tegenwoordig bij de hek te kopen. Maar dat wil niet zeggen dat goedkoop, of duur, ja goedkoop...
I think that might be Europe. I'm gonna point my antenna back towards Europe.
Ja, ik heb er allemaal verstand van, ik niet zo. Dus er had dat tegenwoordig wel en allemaal. Dus ik kan ook altijd naar uitkomen. Mocht de mast niet goed gaan, dan kijk ik mijn draadje ophangen en dan kijk ik ook nog funken. Hè. Dus,
it might be German. I'm not good with foreign languages, so I'm not really sure, but...
Maar daarna hebben we toen die piepmelk, die piep die staat ook al bijna weer, gewoon uit 33 jaar, 30 jaar bijna denk ik.
Or Dutch or something.
Had jij die antenne losgaan, laat ik het zo zeggen.
Ja, maar toen had ik nog een dinges staan en toen stond die tegen de...
9K1 DSK Fox 5 Romeo Alpha Golf.
That's France. See if we can work him really quick. I think I've worked him before. Frequencies in use, kilo whatever 8. I guess he doesn't hear what I hear.
Yeah, QSL as well, 5, 9, 15, 10, 16, no preamp. And of course, with the preamp on, you're just boring than before. So great conditions still. I'm surprised it's getting late and it seems to be working.
Yeah, I think that's Foxtrot 5 Papa Alpha uniform.
Okay, Devin, so all good things that you had, fine, you've been traveling, so we're about
That's Frank, I think.
Since last May. Well, I've been also busy with some special calls during May, July, and as I said, just during 15 days, stopping yesterday.
Yeah, I just worked him on the 27th, if that's him.
I'm back, even if I've worked a lot of stations with the TM9L special call. I'm still on. I love the execution. We're just making a few calls on 10, and it's wide open. Given, so we'll take the advantage of that, and hopefully it's going to be lasting until next CQWW. So Devin, thank you very much for stopping by. I wish you a pleasant rest of the day. Here it's 9:15. The day has been nice and sunny up to 24, 35 degrees. All the best, Devin. Merci. K1 DSK, Fox 5, Romeo Alpha Golf.
Maybe it's not him. It's hard to hear his last of his call because he said it so fast, but I thought it was.
Whiskey Zero Lima Alpha, dancing. Whiskey Zero Lima Alpha, one more time. Whiskey Zero Dancing Alpha.
Maybe I'll cut some of this off this video and I'll put it on my ham radio channel because it's kind of a little off. I mean, it is on the topic of the radio because it is the radio I'm offering, but...
QSL Papa Whiskey 8 Radio Bravo, Italy Kilo Zero Papa Hotel Yankee 5 and 7, 57 Roger.
Papa Hotel Yankee.
Okay, obrigado, hasta luego, 73.
If we can't pick up Italy really quick.
Italy Kilo Zero Papa Hotel Yankee.
November 8, Mexico, Japan, sugar.
K9 Kilo America Charlie, is that Roger?
Not every time do you get a response. Especially, like I've said before, we're not using an antenna that's really made for this band, so that is an important thing to remember, that having an antenna, you know, that resonates does make a huge difference. 9 states are off to the west. It could be Wisconsin or something like that. And he's not coming in that strong. November 8, Mexico, Japan, sugar. November 8, Mexico, Japan, sugar.
Hello, VA2 Tango Echo Delta, as usual, you're 5 and 9. Good evening, over.
Canadians are taking me out. I think VA2 is Ontario somewhere.
Takes maintenance, doesn't it, Larry? Go ahead.
There's a stronger station. Sounds like the UK or something. Let's see if there's anything on 12. Oh, I went by it. I'll tell you, that VFO option on the QT60 Pro or the Quad 5 N2 Short is a game changer, because you don't get that muting in between, you know, when you're changing like that. You don't get that as much. You still get the noise reduction when it re-energizes, but really nothing on 12. Here's the WX.
Temperature of 74 in Indianapolis and Detroit cloudy and a 72.
So when you're on this band, it's probably best to go back into the menu and change this back to priority channel. And then when you go back here, it's still going to change in the 10K step automatically. So when you have an antenna that resonates on the frequency, like this antenna I'm using is designed for these frequencies. So let's see if I can't make a contact here with this radio. CQ 269 Michigan, trying CQ.
Attention 269, attention 269, 30.
Yeah, I heard the 30. Come on back again, the 30 station, 269 Michigan. We're listening for you. I sure do appreciate you coming back to my Barefoot Week station up here on Michigan, but it's real rough on my end. There's so many stations talking at once. Have a good one out there. Enjoy the evening, and enjoy the DX there. 73, 269 Michigan. Back out. I heard you good that time. So that's the difference there when you have an antenna that resonates for the frequency that it's designed for. It just flat out works. And when you're using an antenna like in a compromised situation, like how I was trying to use it on 10, sometimes you can make it, a lot of times you can't. So that's something to keep in mind. You see how much stronger the stations are. Now when I get my HF antenna up, probably the exact opposite would happen, is the stations would be a lot stronger on 10, and probably maybe if there's activity on 12 we would have heard it, because that antenna also does 12. But then on 11 probably things would have dropped down, and then I would have had to use the Antron 99 or something to make some contacts, and who knows, probably I would have still made it, maybe, I don't know. But that's it for this one. It was a really long one, but I like to have fun and see what's going on the band, and I'm just kind of relaxing here before the day's almost done for me. I don't usually do anything with my business on Monday, so I had a little free time and figured I would show this radio and talk about the QT40s I have on the site. I'll just put a link on the site or on this video to my pre-owned section on my website, but you can always go to the website. It's scottsradios.com, pretty easy to remember. Go to shop tab up in the top side of the website, and then it'll bring down a tab that'll come down. You can find pre-owned equipment. I think it's on the very bottom, and then you can see what's available. There's also a DX2547 on there. It's not the best on sideband, so don't expect anything really there, but it's good for AM. It looks good. I mean, it's not pristine or anything, but it's a good talking radio for AM. If you just want like a basic AM radio, it's got echo, it's got talkback, it's got a built-in Roger beep, it's got some channels and all that stuff. So that's on there too. If anyone's interested in something like that, it's excess to my needs now. I've kind of decided not to use it anymore. But yeah, that's it. So everybody have a good one. Hope you're enjoying the skip, whether you're on these bands or the licensed band, whatever you're doing. Hopefully you have fun with your radios. And 73, we'll catch everybody on the next one. Probably won't put this one on the ham radio channel, but I'll be doing some stuff there later when I get the HF antenna up. 73.